Thanks, Hugh, and welcome to BBC Spotlight. I'm Heidi Davey. Hello, good evening. Businesses in Brixham fear plans to close the main route in and out of the town for 4 months could seriously damage trade. Work is needed on the A3022 at Paignton to accommodate the Inglewood housing development, which includes new homes and a primary school. With more, here's John Ayres.
Brixham's fishing industry needs to be able to transport its produce to Europe quickly by road. But if the proposed road closure goes ahead in January, lorries like this could be forced onto residential roads.
There'll be accidents. You know, we've had it on the main route with trucks getting stuck on King's Ash, for example, where, you know, we had an episode where the doors blew open and all the fish came head down on the road. We're concerned for obvious reasons because our trucks aren't going to make the deadlines.
The roadworks are needed to accommodate the housing development to be built in the fields on the left. The government insists there needs to be homes where people want to live and work. There are lots of schools around here and parents fear the road closure will make it difficult to drop off their children and get to work.
We already have a very limited time to do it, and obviously adding in another change and detour is just going to cause chaos.
I worry about how I'm going to get the kids to school in the morning because I have to go to work.
The developer, Persimmon Homes, is apologising for the disruption it will cause and will do everything it can to ensure the works are completed as quickly as possible. Torbay Council hasn't yet approved the road closure.
We've asked them to go back and have a look at the plans, and they're coming back to us tomorrow and then we'll have to take it from there.
The council finds itself between a rock and a hard place. A government inspector says this development has to go ahead and somehow Torbay Council has to accommodate it. They're hoping that something might come out of their public consultation that they can discuss with the developers and hopefully come up with a solution to mitigate the disruption. John Ayres, BBC Spotlight, Torbay.
Well, next tonight in Torbay, Council says it's received confirmation this morning that the third hotel in the Bay has been approved to house asylum seekers. The Council says it's since been told the Home Office is pausing its final decision about the use of the hotel. Last week, the Council threatened the government with legal action to prevent hotels being used to house asylum seekers due to the impact on council services. A Cornish theatre could be forced to close unless it can quickly raise £500,000 to replace its roof. The canopy at the Sturts Arts Centre at Upton Cross near Liscard has fallen victim to the summer's extreme heat. Work to replace it needs to happen ahead of the start of the next summer season, but the money needs to be found imminently.
We had some really, really hot weather that has essentially stretched the sheets, followed by a storm. So actually it's starting to come out of place and needs to be replaced literally as soon as possible. So we are at the point where if we don't raise a significant amount of money, we won't be able to do next season.
Now, there's been a lot of rain, but the real winter weather is still yet to come. But when it does, there'll be 11 new state-of-the-art gritters helping to keep our roads moving. Andrea Ormsby's been to take a look.
£170,000 each of brand new, sparkling clean, state-of-the-art gritter. Now all it needs is a bit of ice or snow. What makes them state-of-the-art?
The first thing is that they travel at 50 miles an hour when they're actually spreading. Now that's 10 miles an hour faster than what we had in our previous vehicles. Doesn't sound a lot, but it really is helpful in terms of being able to get out there and do the job quicker.
The entire fleet of gritters for Devon and Cornwall has now been replaced by National Highways with 18 high-tech gritters, 7 last year and 11 this year. They each hold 10 cubic metres of salt, and all routes are designed to be treated within 2 hours. Normally each winter the drivers will cover thousands of miles, and they can't wait to try out their new vehicles.
They're really excited. It's like a new toy at Christmas for them. But they go through an extensive programme of training to ensure that they're able to use all the necessary kit and able to do it in the right way.
Will you be a bit disappointed if there isn't any ice and snow this Christmas or this winter?
Well, actually, I'd quite like it to be on the mild side all winter. This year has, as you said, been very mild. Normally would have gone out in November by now, but we haven't done any runs so far. So from our perspective, long may that continue.
Not everyone will agree, and if there is a white Christmas, these gritters with their precision spreading are raring to go. Andrea Ormsby, BBC Spotlight, Exeter.
Tonight's football in both Torquay and Weymouth were in action for their first round replays in the FA Cup. 3 first-half goals from Derby made it too tricky for the goals against the League One side, with it ending at 5-0 at the final whistle. And it was goalless at half-time for Weymouth, but 3 early goals in the second half saw Wimbledon take the lead. A late consolation goal for the travelling fans wasn't enough, and it's Wimbledon who make it through to the next round. Not to be tonight, then. Well, let's get the latest on the weather. Here's David.
Thank you, Heidi. After the downpours of today, there's no let-up. There's more showers tonight, more showers tomorrow, and then some more persistent rain will turn up through the afternoon. It becomes quite windy again, particularly later in the day, and the rain will sweep in at the same time. It's an area of low pressure, a new area of low pressure. One line of showers with us overnight tonight. The next band of wet weather coming in. Notice how many isobars we've got. It's going to be windy again and still very blustery by Thursday. Also feeling somewhat cooler at the same time. So more showers overnight tonight. The only blessing really is they move along quite quickly because there's quite a breeze blowing, and overnight temperatures will be into single figures at 7-8 degrees. So a rather cold start to the day tomorrow with a rash of showers. Sunny spells for a time. Then here comes the more persistent rain sweeping in, and accompanying that, there will be some quite lively winds with a maximum temperature of 11 or 12. Bye for now.
Thanks, David. Well, that's all from us here on The Late Team. Janine will be back with you tomorrow morning from 6:25. From all of us, so have a good evening.